Hey guys, I'm here with the guy that's left at Dropzone Commander, pretty much.
No, it's not.
The owner.
Yeah.
Well, no, one guy made a coffee shop to game, you know. He got tired of traveling around the world. The other guy went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then there's one other. There's
8 of us. There's 8 of us.
That's actually a really big game company. It really is.
8 people, yeah.
But anyway, I'm here with not Sean. I'm here with Dave.
I got Sean's name tag. It was a printing error.
Printing error. He just
there you go.
He's Dave Incognito.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk.
Dave. Yeah.
We're going to talk about things like Dropzone Commander, Drop Fleet Commander. Maybe the tournament scene for next year. I hear a world championship is in the air.
It is.
I hear a special tournament is in the air. A team tournament, but that's all under the underground stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, where do you want to start?
Drop Fleet, I guess, because we've never actually had a Drop Fleet for sale at Genb Con before, so that's the newest stuff here. Is all Drop Fleet. We reached for the 2-player. Yeah. It's weighty. Yeah.
It's what, 10 pounds?
Shiny 2-player. $99, I think.
No, not dollars.
Weight.
I'm sorry.
Just under 2 kilos, which is the UK shipping limit for reasonable shipping.
2K is roughly how many pounds?
Oh God, I don't know. In old money, I've no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels like about a gallon of milk.
It's weighty. It's got the full rule books in there, so it's dense.
All right.
Yeah, so we've got that here. We've got the whole range, Dropzone stuff here too on this side.
Yeah, is the Kickstarter fully fulfilled? That's a mouthful.
Yeah, fully fulfilled. There's still some Wave 2 stuff to go out. We're shipping that at the moment. There's the maps, which we're not doing now because we can't. It turned out we couldn't, just not workable in the end. 4 feet wide printing is a pig. Ultimately,
just do it in 2 pieces.
We do it, yeah. It's not. I don't like that. I mean, what we've done is
What about a playmat?
Well, the cost is vastly different. Like, there's a reason why you don't.
Now, that was part of the Kickstarter, right? So
yeah. So what we're doing is we're giving the full value that was paid for them in vouchers, plus £5 vouchers for the free ones for use in the web store. Plus, we also made all the artwork open source because we've done all the work. Like, we created them all. We just couldn't print them in the end, so they're
your
free.
backers happy with that?
Yeah, most. I mean, obviously not every one of them, of course, but
there's always going to be somebody.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it was the best we could do, really, at the time. I mean, of all the things on the Kickstarter, there was something like 176 different items that we had to procure, make, order, whatever. The maps were the only ones that were just impossible. Everything else was more or less fine. I mean, it took a little longer to cast 1 or 2 things, but nothing big. But the maps, yeah. We would have to have gone to China, and even then it would have been difficult, expensive. When we'd have got them, there'd been no guarantee of quality even when you received them. And yeah, in the end, it had gone on for so long, we had to just be like, that's it, let's just draw a line under this. This is the best we can do.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so Wave 2's still going. There's a few packages that got to go to Russia that we're working out. A couple of other, obviously with 4,000 there are still missed packs and missing packages and things we're dealing with. But yeah, in general, the vast bulk of it has gone. It's probably the best way of saying it. Like 99% of the product is out the door.
Oh, that's amazing, because it's.
Yeah.
We talked about it here last year a little bit, and then you went live like 3 days later.
Yeah, it was. We were shipping 3 days later last year because we went live.
Is it 2 years ago it started already?
Yeah, or 2 years ago is when it went live in October 2015. It went live.
Seems like it was only 1 year.
Not for me, it doesn't. It seems considerably longer ago than that to me, but yeah, it was a big mountain, the Kickstarter. But yeah, we've done quite a bit since then.
It was quite a bit overwhelming for you, I'm sure.
It was, yeah.
That's why they all left.
Yeah, we learned some lessons. Only Simon and Louis, but yeah. It's Simon. He's with the company for a long time, and he wanted to do that. It was the right thing for him to do.
I know those guys. I met them at Origins. I filmed them at Origins. That's right. I'm like, they look familiar. Anyway, back to the smart stuff here.
So other new toys. We've got the new battle cruisers that are out here. They're blisters, so they're around the corner, but you wouldn't see them on camera anyway. But they're They're the 4 new Battlecruiser dual blisters for Drop Fleet, which are the retail versions rather than the Kickstarter ones, which are conversion kits for the plastics, and the retail ones are full resin. They're all here. The Corvettes, they're quite new. They're here. The command cards, they've come out since the Kickstarter. Battleships, they're all out as well. The new fleet boxes, the Battle Fleet boxes, which are currently in the post and should be arriving today. We've only got 10 of each of them, so they're going to go...
They're all mine.
They're going to go fairly quick once they get here, but they're the only ones in the world right now, so that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
So they're nice big boxes, basically full tournament fleet in a box. I think, they're $150, pretty sure. I don't know all my US prices off by heart. I know the UK ones. It's 99 in the UK, but I think it's 150. But
somewhere around there. I think.
Somewhere around there.
I think we have to mark everything up about 35-40% ish.
Yeah, something like that.
Depending on the strength of our dollar and all that.
It goes up and down, but
stupid capitalism
stuff.
But
there's a big chunk of saving there anyway in that box, and it's if you know what faction you want, it's a good thing to buy because you're done. Obviously, the other big focus here is betaing Dropzone 2nd edition.
Yeah. So what's going to change?
Lots. I've spilled the beans on quite a few things here because we're actually running betas, obviously, so it's a lot more public than it was last time I did filming for this. So transports, they all operate as a pool now, so instead of dropships being attached to battle groups, they can move different things.
That's awesome.
Which is lots more flexible. Most units can now drop and shoot. So you can say pick up some sabers, fly them, drop them, disembark, fire.
So you made it more brutal.
Yeah, well, you shoot with a modifier, so you're still better off if you're better positioned, but it means you can redeploy. It means your dropships are now a lot more important to keep alive and to keep near your parent unit, because if you've got a dropship nearby, you have options, whereas if you don't so much. Fast movers, that's fighters and bombers and things, they now come on as you pay for attack runs rather than the actual thing itself, which is cool because that makes them a lot cheaper in small doses. It means you'll see them a lot more in tournament play, which is the aim for those, because they never saw much tournament play because they were too expensive and they were too random, and tournament players hate random, so they're a lot more viable now. Like, you don't have to dice to get them on. You can rely on them turning up when you want them to turn up most of the time, which is good. Other new stuff, so forests they behave like structures, so you can destroy them, you can garrison them. So
I think that's the first game that I've ever seen do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's because destructible scenery has always been part of Dropzone, but the old forest rules were just kind of a line of sight thing, and nobody ever used them. But now the prospect of having forests in tournaments potentially is quite cool, and they change the dynamics of quite a few things. There's a ton of new rules for objectives, what you can do with them, how you get them off the board, different types of things, lots of new scenario rules, a whole set of new scenarios. Obviously they're going to be in the book. Loads of little adjustments all over the place, tons of unit balancing, a lot of work's gone into it, and we're into beta stage as of 2 weeks ago.
Are you going to change the army structure at all, or?
Yeah, so list building is now simplified, so there's one list building structure for all 4 factions in the book, rather than a specific one for every faction, which was confusing as hell for new players a lot of the time.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest portion of a learning curve.
You see the list building as a new player and you're like, whoa. So all these things that confuse new players, like another one, aircraft now fly at stock flight stand height rather than 6 inches, which was always confusing for new players, because you'd be like, well, so it's not here, it's here actually, so you have to explain that to someone you're demoing to. It's not intuitive. Right. You can still fly over scenery that's less than 6 inches high, but instead of going like over it, you go over it.
Which they should be able to do anyway, because they're trained pilots. And,
so it's much better from a real feel point of view. It's there, you can see it. If you can't see it, you can't shoot it. So there's a range of streamlining things like that are generally, after 5 years of playing the game, we know the sticking points. Close quarter battle with CQB, that's now simplified a little bit in terms of how it operates when you activate, that kind of thing. Still big bucket of dice, because people enjoy the big bucket of dice, and I've always liked that, so that stayed. We've also designed it so it's still compatible with Phase 1 and 2 with an errata. So if you own those, you're not going to have to rebuy all the books, you just have to rebuy the core rulebook for the new edition.
Okay, so what about the starters? Are there going to be new starters?
The starters are going to stay more or less the same with a revised fast play sheet. We're not going to do a whole load of new plastic or anything for this. There's no real need. The miniatures are good. They don't need to be redone.
No, that's true. I thought it was maybe you might change up the way they're laid out.
Yeah, I mean, we might look at doing bigger ones in the same way that we've done for Drop Fleet with the Battlefleet boxes. But you know, the core basic starter sets, they'll stay unchanged. The 2-player, there's probably going to be some revisions there. Well, there'll be a new 2-player, but it will still be UCM versus Scourge because they're the main protagonists, and that's just right for those two to be in the starter.
What about the 6th faction? When are we going to see that?
Some point in the future. People keep asking me about this. There's a few.
I mean, is it going to be undead?
No.
I was told I had to ask him that.
Yeah, there's not like, oh, it's going to be undead. No, it's not undead. It's sci-fi.
What about infected people?
I'm just not. I don't get drawn on these things because people keep like being. What about this? What about this? And eventually, someone's gonna say something that's kind of close to the truth.
I really couldn't see infected people being that much different. So it's got to be something like werewolves or something.
Not,
I mean,
it's sci-fi. You'll get what you get.
A wolf race could be sci-fi. I mean, if you do it right.
Yeah. I've got to have the time to design them, obviously, in it. So I've got to do them for Drop Fleet as well. So. Well, there's a hint anyway, they'll have a fleet and the ground stuff. So, not that that's a massive leap considering we've got the 2 games, but there's a little hint for you. But they're not going to be coming out anytime immediately soon.
All right.
I've got a lot of work to do before I get to that point.
Like a tournament play system?
Yes.
So, wow.
We have a tournament pack.
Well,
But yeah, no, we're working on a more extensive tournament organised play structure. You know, that's a big focus at the moment.
For those of you who watched the Origins video, Andrew and I talked about organised play and stuff at Origins and plans they have, and they're talking about like a world championship. But with hearing everything that's going on with Dropzone Commander, is that all going to happen between now and Origins?
It should do, yeah. I mean, the tournament side of it is, I mean, it won't change much from a points level, from the way we run tournaments. We've got that pretty well screwed down after 5 years of doing it, so that's not going to change. Obviously, the missions will change because they'll all be new. The last first edition tournament is Autumn Invasion in London in, I think it's September. That's going to be the last ever first ed tournament. So don't miss that if you're, if any way, able to come. And then obviously from that point on, it's going to be 2nd edition from there on.
Okay. So where do you plan on doing your World Championships at? Or you don't know yet?
I don't know yet. Actually, Dom and Andy have more to do with planning this than I do, so I'm probably not the best person to speak about it, to be honest. They haven't filled me in on all the details, and they're still working a lot of it out. But
you can't do it all.
Yeah, we're doing regionals in the US and things like that, and we want to do US invasion, all these things that we know we need to do. So there's going to be a good deal more work done on the tournament side next year and later this year.
Okay. Anything else?
We think we had all our new show onlys. They've all sold out now. Let me think. Anything else? No. 2nd ed is the big one, really. I've been putting most of my time into 2nd edition recently, and that's the big push right now. So Dropzone hasn't had some love for a while, and it's going to get a lot of love with 2nd edition.
All right.
So stay tuned, really.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
I enjoy it. I love Dropzone. I actually drive 2 hours to play about every other month now.
Cool.
So we're all good. Bye, guys.
Cool.